Hello everybody, my name is Danny, and for those who watch my videos on YouTube, you've sort of gotten used to me, where I tend to post all different types of videos. So this one is going to be another bit of a different video. First, I just wanted to say that I'm kind of glad that I was able to make this video because it gave me the chance to change the scenery of the room that I usually do this in. You know, a lot of you have seen like the different posters and stuff like this. I don't think I've ever shown this background, this poster. It's one of my favorite posters. It's a poster of Paris, France, and it's also holographic, right? So if you get close enough and angle it, you can see like different aspects of the poster. Yeah, so this video is my gases. This video is my gases alternate assignment for my chemistry course at Memorial University of Newfoundland. The topic is propane. Propane is a colorless, odorless gas. It is a 3-carbon alkane. At standard pressure and temperature, it is a gas. However, it can be compressible to a liquid propane. However, it can be compressible to a liquid. Propane is a byproduct of natural gas. Propane is a byproduct of natural gas processing and petroleum refining, regularly used as a fuel. It was discovered in 1857 by a French chemist named Marcelin Berthelot. So the next thing that I wanted to show you guys is this is the structure of propane. This is a structure of propane with angled bonds as well as all atoms. So I'm going to come up and show you guys the diagram that I made. Hope you guys can see that properly. Just give it a couple seconds to make sure you guys can see that properly. Make sure my professor can evaluate it to make sure it's right and doesn't have any mistakes or imperfections. I know sometimes it can be hard to evaluate things through video. As I have always found that it works well to explain things in a practical manner, I would like to explain how propane works in our common barbecue propane tanks. Propane in its gaseous state takes up to 270 times more room in your tank than in liquid form. Therefore, for barbecuing, it is much more manageable to have a smaller tank with liquid propane. When you buy a propane tank, it is already filled with liquid propane. The the manufacturers compress the propane gas into a liquid. By putting the propane gas under pressure when it's stored in the tank. In that pressurized state, it's turned into a liquid. When you open the valve on your propane tank, pressure in the propane tank will be released. So the liquid propane will want to change to gas propane. It does this by boiling. The boiling releases gas propane, which then flows to your grill. The vapor pressure of propane is 853.16 kilopascals kPa at 21.1 degrees Celsius. This is relatively high due to the fact that the propane gas is basically flowing upward through the propane tank, through the propane tank hose into the grill. So this is a diagram. This is a diagram that I drew of the propane tank for the barbecue and also the grill. And I just wanted to just further explain, because some people learn better through visuals, through a diagram. I do anyways. So I just want to make sure that this is in focus so that you guys can see it properly. I just want to make sure. Okay. I think this should be okay. It would really be lame if you guys couldn't see the diagram properly, so I'm just making sure here. Okay, so here we have, and I also have my laser pointer here. The laser pointer here is obviously in red. So please follow my red laser pointer. So here we have the propane tank, as we call it, right? And these propane tanks, we've seen them all. These are the ones that are used for barbecuing, right? These propane tanks. So like I said, when you buy a propane tank, the propane is in its liquid state, and liquid propane is heavier than air. So that means that the liquid will always be at the bottom, which is here, right? And there's always about 20%, about usually they fill the tank to 80% of the liquid propane, and then they leave the other 20% empty. And so on top is basically space for the gas propane. So like I said, what happens is that when we open the valve releases pressure, and then when that pressure is released from the propane tank, the liquid propane wants to convert the liquid propane wants to convert back to its gas state. So what it does is it boils. And when it boils, it releases gas propane. So the gas propane forms on the top here. And then you can see the gas propane is in green here. And then it flows upwards through the hose. And then right here, this is called, this tube, they call it a manifold tube, right? And then the propane gas continues flowing into the burners, right? So follow my pointer. So the propane tank goes all around the burners here, just like on the other side too. Goes through the manifold tube and then in around through the burners. And what happens is also at the same time is that kind of when the propane gas is being sent out, it's also through holes, I would assume, and then it's able to leave the burners and kind of go sort of into sort of the main grill area. And then what we have here is we have they call them collector boxes, right? See these collector boxes here? And then so the propane tank collects inside these the propane gas collects inside these collector boxes. And so the next thing that happens is that we all know basically what igniter is, right? So it's usually like a button. So the igniter is usually a button. So you press the button. It's usually, there's usually a battery inside the module, right? And that activates a current that goes through the wires here, and then it goes into what we call here the electrodes, right? And then the electrodes cause a spark, right? So right here and right here. And then this spark lights up the propane gas that's what's collected in the collector boxes. Now, this causes the propane gas to light up inside the collector boxes. And that sort of spike or ignition pushes into the burners. Remember, the burners already have propane gas built up into them too, right? And so that ignition of the propane gas into the collector boxes pushes into the burners and goes around like that and around like that. And then actual flames form, right? And those flames, of course, are what we use grills for, right? To grill our, we want good flames to grill our steaks and our chicken wings and our ribs, and that type of thing, right? And finally, I just also wanted to make a note here, like I wrote down, that propane gas combusts with oxygen in the atmosphere to produce flames, right? So combustion is another basic topic in the study of gases. Yeah, so I think that's just about it. Didn't really want to miss anything, but oh yeah, there is one little thing that I may have forgotten to mention. That remember when I said that the liquid the liquid propane will eventually boil when you open the valve. That process is called vaporization, right? And I think that's it. So I just wanted to wrap up and say thanks a lot for watching this video and for watching all of my videos. And please remember to subscribe and hit on the all notifications. Thank you. Peace out.